How do I write equations of lines is my essential question. We've been looking at the forms of lines and the standard, the point slope, and the slope-intercept forms. So now how do we write equations of lines with certain characteristics? Your learning intention. I'm learning to write the equation of a line by finding the slope and using a point. You have one warm-up question. Write the equation of a line that is parallel to y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. Pause the video and see if you can do it on your own. Well, to be parallel, we know they have to have the same slope. So the slope has got to be negative 1/2. So y is equal to negative 1/2 x. How do I end this? I put any number there I want except for positive 5. So I'm going to put negative 10. I could have put positive 1. I could have put 0. Those would all be parallel to that first line. So we know that parallel lines have the blank slope, have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite, reciprocals. Now, if we cannot remember what a reciprocal is, it's where we take the fraction and flip it upside down. So some examples of opposite reciprocals would be 2 and negative 1/2. We could have negative 4/3 and positive 3/4. One has to be negative, one has to be positive. So now, we're going to do some lines by graphing. So as I'm looking at this, we want to draw the line that is parallel to this line and goes through the point negative 1, 2. So this is a point we're going to start at. But we have to know the slope. The slope has to be the same. So if I'm looking at the slope, I can see it goes through the corner of a box here, and it goes through the corner of a box up here. So I go up 1, so that is 1 over, right, 1, 2, 3. 1 over 3. I have to do the same thing here. I go up 1 and I go right 1, 2, 3. There is my second point. I can now graph. Find your slope, use that slope to find the next point, and draw your line. Okay, but what if we want it perpendicular? Where's the point we're starting at? Well, the point we're starting at is negative 3, positive 3. My original slope. It's negative. I've got a corner of a box here. I've got a corner of a box here. I'm going down 1, 2, right 1. So my original slope is negative 2. For my new slope, it's negative, so the opposite is positive. 2 over 1 becomes 1 over 2. Go up 1, go right 1, 2. I now have 2 points. These are perpendicular. If I draw that little box, even if I've got my lines off a little bit on the grid, that tells my reader that these are perpendicular. Okay, but what about the equation of a line that's through a point and parallel to this? What do I do to find it? What do I know? Well, to be parallel, they have to have the same slope. So the slope I need is negative 1/3. So I can start off, y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus b. This is in your slope-intercept form. I need to find b. I've got an x and a y here that I can substitute in. 7 is equal to negative 1/3 times negative 6 plus b. Seven is equal to negative times negative is a positive. 1/3 of 6, or 6 divided by 3, is 2 plus b. Last step to finding b is to subtract 2 from both sides. 5 is equal to b. Now, I'm ready to substitute it in that generic equation. Y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 5. Okay, if you're still struggling to understand, back the video up and watch it again. Okay, so another one's parallel. What will our slope be? And how do we find our b value? What would that generic equation look like? Y equals 2x. I can go that far. Y equals 2x plus b. I have an x and a y I can substitute in. Negative 7 is equal to 2 times negative 6 plus b. Solve. Negative 7 is equal to negative 12 plus b. Add 12 to both sides. Twelve plus negative 7, or 12 minus 7 is 5. 5 is equal to b. Bring your original equation in. Y equals 2x plus 5. That's parallel to the original and goes through that point. But what about perpendicular? Perpendicular means we have to have what for our slope? Well, our slope has got to be the opposite reciprocal. This is 1/5 positive. The opposite is negative. When you flip 1 over 5 over, it becomes 5 over 1, which is simply 5. So we can start with our generic equation, but we're going to replace this with our perpendicular slope. Y is equal to negative 5x plus b. We have an x and a y. Negative 5 is equal to negative 5 times 10 plus, or negative 10 plus b. Negative 5 is equal to, negative times negative is a positive, 5 times 10 is 50, plus b. We're ready to solve. Subtract 50 from both sides. Negative 5 minus 50 more is negative 55 is equal to b. We'll use our generic equation. Y is equal to negative 5x minus 55. Take a minute, pause the video, and look and think. For the next one, we need the equation of a line through 9, 2 that is perpendicular to 3/4 x. So the slope has to be that opposite reciprocal. The opposite of positive is a negative. The reciprocal of 3/4 becomes 4/3. Putting it into our generic equation, y is equal to negative 4/3 x plus b. We've got our x and y we can substitute in. 2 is equal to negative 4/3 times 9 plus b. Simplify. 2 is equal to negative. Okay, 9 divided by 4 is, or 9 divided by 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 12 plus b. Solve for b. Add 12 to both sides. 14 is equal to b. So, y is equal to negative 4/3 x plus 14. Okay, there are two that you need to try to do. If you can do them on your own, great. If not, turn the video on and we will talk about how to do it together. On the first one, I hope you tried. Remember, our slope is the opposite of a over b. A is negative 2. The opposite of negative 2 over 1. The opposite of a negative is a positive, so the slope would be positive 2. We can put it in. Y is equal to 2x plus b. Substitute x and y in. 5 is equal to negative, or 2 times negative 4 plus b. 5 is equal to negative 8 plus b. Add 8 to both sides. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 is equal to b. Use my generic equation. Y is equal to 2x plus 13, and we're done. Okay, for the last one, we still have to find that we still have to find the original slope. So the original is the opposite of 2/3. The opposite of a over b. So my new slope, okay, what is the opposite of a negative number? Positive. What is the reciprocal of 2/3? 3/2. Now we're ready to write it in our equation. Y is equal to 3/2x plus b. But we've got an x and a y. We can find b. Negative 3 is equal to 3/2 times 2 plus b. Negative 3 is equal to, the 2's cancel out, 3 plus b. Last thing I do is just subtract 3 from both sides. And -6 is equal to b. When we do the plug and chug, y is equal to 3/2 x minus 6. And we are done. Pause the video, watch it think of it through step by step, and get the process down. How do you know you're successful? You know you are successful when you can write the equation of a line by finding the slope and using a point. So, finding equations of parallel and perpendicular lines.